Hello, and welcome back to English in Quiet. If you're on the bus, washing dishes, sitting at a messy desk, or lying in bed with your phone a little too close to your face, you're in the right place.
And if you press play while avoiding one important task, yes, we see you. I have opened the same email 6 times today and somehow called that preparation.
I know that feeling more than I want to admit. Sometimes a very small task can feel emotionally huge, and that can make a whole day feel heavy.
So today we are talking about procrastination, which is a very serious topic and also my unwanted hobby.
And we are going to do it in a way that helps your English and your real life at the same time. We will keep the language clear, explain useful phrases, and stay close to everyday situations.
If that sounds helpful, you can like, subscribe, or share this with one friend who says, I will do it later, and then somehow cleans a shelf instead.
And if your English is around B1 to B2, you are in a good place for this episode. If a few parts feel a little richer, that is okay. Stay with the main idea and come back later if you want to catch more.
Okay, big question first. Why does procrastination stay in our lives for so long?
A lot of people call it laziness, but that is usually not the real story. Very often, procrastination is short-term relief.
I like that phrase. Short-term relief means a small, comfortable feeling right now.
Right. You avoid the task and for a few minutes you feel better. The report is still there, the appointment is still needed, the hard conversation is still waiting, but in that moment you get a little escape.
Like, I should send this invoice, but first I need coffee, and then maybe a better pen, and then maybe a new life.
Exactly. It sounds silly when we say it like that, but many people do this with things they truly care about. A course application, a doctor's appointment, a presentation for work, an essay, a message to a partner.
Which is important because it means procrastination is not proof that you do not care.
Yes, often you care a lot, sometimes too much. The problem is that what matters in the long term does not match what feels easier in the next 10 minutes.
Match is a good word here, or mismatch when two things do not fit well together.
Right, your long-term values say, this matters. But your next 10 minutes brain says, this feels risky, boring, confusing, or uncomfortable. Let us do something safer.
Safer things include checking messages, organizing files, reading one more article, making another cup of tea, and staring out the window like a poet with no deadlines.
Yes, and those replacement activities are not random. They reduce discomfort in the moment.
Which is dangerous, because then the brain learns, oh, avoidance works. I feel better when I step away.
At least temporarily.
Temporarily is doing a lot of work there.
It is, because later the stress returns and often it comes back bigger.
I know this one. You avoid one email in the morning, and by evening it feels like a legal case.
Yes, and then people feel ashamed, which makes starting even harder.
So let us say this clearly for anyone listening while feeling a little bad about themselves. Capable people procrastinate too.
Very much so. Ambitious people procrastinate. Responsible people procrastinate. People who already know what to do still procrastinate.
That part surprised me the first time I really noticed it. Sometimes I fully understand the task. I know the essay topic. I know the presentation deadline. I know I just need to call and book the appointment.
And still there is no movement.
Yes, because knowledge is not the same as action.
Exactly. If a task carries uncertainty, possible criticism, or the chance that the work is harder than you hoped, the mind often runs towards something easier.
So if I keep refreshing my inbox instead of writing, I am not always confused. Sometimes I am just hiding in a place that feels safer.
That is a very honest way to say it.
Thank you. I am brave for 3 minutes at a time.
3 minutes counts. And that idea leads to an important difference. Rest is not the same as procrastination.
Yes. Please say that louder for tired people.
Rest is a chosen pause that actually restores you. Maybe you take a walk, cook dinner, watch a film, sit quietly, or go to sleep earlier. The break has a purpose, and when it ends, you feel more human.
Procrastination can look similar from the outside. You are still not working, but inside it feels different.
Right. The task stays alive in the background. You scroll, or do unnecessary errands, or watch low quality videos. And the small voice keeps saying, the important thing is still waiting.
Oof. That voice is never loud, but it is rude.
It really is. Rest usually lowers tension. Procrastination usually keeps tension in the room.
So if I watch a film and feel calm after, that might be rest. But if I watch a film while thinking, I should be doing my taxes, and then I feel worse, that is probably procrastination.
Yes, and this matters because many people attack themselves and say, I am lazy, when what they actually need is either real rest or a clearer way back into work.
Not punishment, clarity.
Exactly. And that brings us to another very useful idea, the difference between a vague task and a visible next action.
This one changed my life a little, honestly.
Same, a vague task is something like work on my taxes, fix the apartment, study English, or prepare for the meeting.
Those sound normal, but they are actually huge. They hide many smaller decisions inside them.
Yes, where do I begin? How long will this take? What does good enough look like? Which file do I open? Which room do I start with? Which page do I study?
So the brain sees a fog, not a doorway.
Nicely said. A visible next action is different. It is small and concrete. Open the tax folder and find last year's return. Set a timer for 12 minutes and clear the kitchen table. Read one page and underline 3 useful phrases. Write the meeting title and 3 agenda points.
I love that phrase, visible next action. Not the whole mountain, just the next step you can actually see.
Yes, because no one starts a whole project at once. You only ever start the next physical or mental action.
Physical or mental action, that is useful too. Physical could be, put on running shoes. Mental could be, write the opening question.
Exactly. And when the entry point becomes visible, delay often becomes weaker.
Not magical, but weaker.
Right. We are not selling a dramatic reset. We are trying to make the start smaller and more real.
Thank you, because I do not trust dramatic resets. If my plan begins with new Jake wakes up at 5 a.m. and becomes a perfect person, we are in danger.
Yes, that plan may fall apart by 5:12 a.m.
Deeply accurate.
Another key point here is this: starting is not the same as finishing.
Which sounds obvious, but emotionally we often mix them together.
We do. Someone says, I need to exercise, and their mind jumps to becoming fit forever. Someone says, I need to write the report, and suddenly they imagine the whole project, every section, every reply, every judgment.
Or, I need to clean one room, and then my brain shows me a movie of restoring my entire life.
Yes, the finish line becomes so heavy that the start line disappears.
So the trick is not to think, can I finish this whole thing right now? The better question is, can I enter it?
Beautifully put. Can I enter it? Can I open the document? Can I write one sentence? Can I walk outside for 5 minutes? Can I dial the number?
Entering is smaller, and smaller feels possible.
Exactly. Starting does not solve everything, but it turns the task from an abstract burden into a real process.
Abstract burden is when the task lives in your head like a dark cloud.
Yes, a real process is when there is now a document on the screen, one clean surface in the room, or a number ready to call.
And once something is real, it is less scary, still annoying sometimes, but less mysterious.
That is an important word too. Mysterious tasks grow in size. Clear tasks shrink.
Okay, but let me confess something. I am very good at fake progress.
Many people are.
I can spend 40 minutes choosing a study playlist. I can reorganize a note-taking app. I can read career advice for an hour instead of sending one job application.
Yes, that is productive looking procrastination.
Which is rude because it looks so respectable.
It does, and some preparation is helpful, of course. Planning can reduce confusion.
But only if it leads quickly into the real task.
Exactly. If preparation becomes a costume for avoidance, then it is just procrastination in cleaner clothes.
Cleaner clothes is such a good image. I am not avoiding. I am optimizing.
Yes, very elegant delay.
Another useful phrase. Elegant delay. It sounds expensive and still unhelpful.
So, a better way to plan is to answer just a few questions. What is the next step? When will it happen? What materials do I need?
And then stop planning.
Yes, because after that, more planning often gives less value than direct work.
Which hurts because I do enjoy making nice little systems.
Systems are good when they support action, not when they replace it.
Fair. So let us talk about environment, because this part is practical and kind of hopeful.
Very hopeful. The environment around a task matters more than people sometimes admit. Action is easier when the tools are close, the first step is set up, and the time has a clear boundary.
Boundary means clear beginning and clear end.
Right. Compare these two plans. One person says, I will work on the proposal tomorrow. Another person says, at 9 a.m., I will sit at the dining table, open the draft, and write for 20 minutes before I check email.
The second plan is not more romantic, but it is much more usable.
Exactly. Or think about a guitar habit. It is easier if the guitar is out of the case.
Morning running is easier if the clothes are ready the night before.
A phone call is easier if the number is written down and the reason for calling is on paper.
This is where we need the word friction.
Yes. Friction means small resistance, tiny things that make action harder.
Like needing to find the charger, the notebook, the password, the right form, the phone number, your courage, your adult personality.
Yes, all of that. If you reduce friction, the task becomes easier to enter.
So instead of waiting for motivation, you make the path smoother.
Exactly. And that matters because motivation is often misunderstood.
Oh, this point is so good. Many of us think action comes after motivation,
But in ordinary life, motivation often comes after action.
which is unfair, honestly.
A little. The beginning of a task is often the least rewarding part. Nothing is finished yet. The work still feels awkward. Your brain has not shifted into the new activity.
But after 10 or 15 minutes, something changes.
Yes, not always joy. Let us be realistic. But often the uncertainty goes down.
Now there is one paragraph on the screen. One visible part of the table is clean. One page is studied. So the mind stops treating the task like a monster in the hallway.
Exactly. Movement creates information, and information reduces fear.
That line is worth repeating. Movement creates information.
Yes, when you start, you learn. You learn the task is smaller than expected, or harder than expected, or simply normal. But now you know something real.
Waiting to feel fully ready can keep you stuck in the hardest moment, which is often the moment before the work begins.
Right. So if you're listening and thinking, I just need to feel motivated first, maybe try a different sentence. I need a small entry point first.
Much better. Less drama, more usefulness.
Now, we also have to talk about perfectionism. Because procrastination and perfectionism are close friends in a very unhealthy relationship.
Yes, perfectionism says, I just care about quality. But sometimes it means, I am scared to be seen trying.
Very true. If the work must be excellent, then beginning feels dangerous. A first draft might show your limits. A difficult conversation might not sound wise or calm. A portfolio might show you are not yet as strong as you hoped.
So delay becomes self-protection.
Exactly, as long as the work stays unfinished, you can still imagine that a better version lives inside you.
Oof. That hurts because it is true. If I do not send the application, I can still tell myself I would have done amazingly.
Yes, but once the work is real, it can be judged. And that fear can keep people frozen for a long time.
Even in small situations, replying to a simple email, writing one post, sending one sample of your work.
Exactly. So here is a helpful distinction. Standards are not the same as scope.
Please explain that because it is very useful English and also very useful life advice.
Standards are about honesty, care, and basic quality. Scope is about size, detail, and ambition.
So if I reduce the scope, I am making it smaller. I am not automatically making it careless.
Correct. A careful first version can still be small. A strong presentation can begin as 6 rough bullet points. A serious fitness habit can begin with short walks and 2 simple exercises. A meaningful apology can begin with 1 clear sentence.
I am sorry. I handled that badly. Honestly, that is already better than 90% of dramatic speeches.
Yes, by shrinking the scope and keeping your standards reasonable, you keep the door open to action.
Later you can improve, expand, and refine,
Exactly. But many projects die because the first version is expected to carry the weight of the final version.
which is like asking a seed to be a full tree by Tuesday.
Right. And then people say, why am I stuck? Well, maybe the first step was carrying too much.
Okay, another trap here that I loved, urgent activity is not the same as important action.
Yes. When people feel guilty, they often want quick proof that they are not wasting time. So they answer small messages, clear the inbox, reorder shelves, and do easy tasks that give fast completion.
I do this. I become weirdly efficient at things that matter less,
Many people do. And those tasks are not always useless, but they can become a way to avoid the heavier, more meaningful work.
like writing the proposal, studying for the exam, making the budget, booking the dentist, sending the invoice.
Yes, important work often feels heavier because the result matters more. It may affect your income, health, reputation, or direction.
Which is exactly why it deserves protection.
Beautifully said. A productive day is not just a busy day. It is a day when at least one meaningful task moves forward, even in a modest way.
Modest is a great word. It means small, not flashy.
Yes, quiet progress still counts.
Quiet progress is maybe my favorite phrase today.
Mine too. Because many listeners are not trying to become perfect machines. They just want a calmer relationship with work and with themselves.
And calmer is good. We do not need another productivity voice yelling at us on a Tuesday night.
No, we do not.
Now let us talk about what happens after a miss, because this part matters a lot. People often think the problem is starting, but recovery matters too.
Very much. Many people miss one planned session and then turn that small slip into a whole week of avoidance.
I miss my Monday workout and suddenly announce, well, the week is broken.
Yes. Or someone misses a morning study block and then gives up on the whole day.
That is all or nothing thinking,
Exactly. All or nothing means if it is not perfect, your mind treats it like failure.
which is expensive. One small miss becomes a bigger story.
Right. A healthier response is to treat the miss as information, not destiny.
Information means data, something you can learn from.
Yes, maybe the task was scheduled at the wrong time. Maybe the first step was still too big. Maybe you were more tired than you admitted. Maybe your plan had too much friction.
So instead of saying, I am hopeless, you say, okay, what threw me off?
Exactly. Throw you off means disturb your rhythm or make you lose focus.
And then you get back on track.
Yes. Get back on track means return to the plan without a lot of drama.
I love that. Less drama, faster return.
People who recover quickly are not always stronger in character. Often they simply do not turn one broken plan into a broken identity.
That line matters. A misstart does not mean you are the kind of person who can never do hard things,
Exactly, it means you missed a start. That is all.
and this is where social structure can help too.
Yes. Some tasks are easier when they are lightly shared. A quiet work session with other people. A class that gives you a weekly checkpoint. A message to a colleague saying, I am sending this before lunch.
That word is accountability.
Right. Accountability means someone knows what you plan to do, so the task feels a little more real.
Not public shame, not performance, just a little structure.
Exactly. Too much pressure can create new stress, but a small amount of accountability can reduce the private fog where procrastination grows.
Because once you name the task or time it or share it a little, it is harder to pretend it is still just a future idea.
Yes, and many people do not need more advice. They need a clear structure that makes beginning slightly less optional.
Okay, so if someone listening right now thinks, fine, but what do I actually do today? What is the practical same-day response?
Keep it simple. First, use one delayed task that truly matters.
1. Not 14.
1. Second, define the first visible action, not the whole project.
Like, open the document and write the title. Or, find the dentist number and put it on paper.
Exactly. Third, decide when and where it will happen.
At 7:30 p.m. at the kitchen table. That kind of clear.
Yes. Fourth, prepare the needed materials before the moment of work.
So when the time comes, future you does not have to go on a treasure hunt.
Right. Fifth, start with a short, real block of time, long enough to make contact with the task, but short enough to avoid a big internal argument.
10 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes, enough to show up.
Yes, show up is a lovely phrase here. It means begin, arrive, and give real presence to the task.
Not finish your whole life. Just show up.
Exactly. And over time, these smaller starts teach you something very important.
That the discomfort at the beginning is normal.
Yes, normal, not a warning sign. You also learn that clarity matters more than intensity.
Intensity is that big emotional push. Clarity is knowing what to do next.
Right. And you learn that imperfect movement is usually more valuable than elegant delay.
Elegant delay, once again, is me making a beautiful plan and then not living inside it.
A lot of us have done that. So if this episode gives you one gentle push today, let it be this. Do not wait to become a permanently disciplined person. Build a repeatable way to begin.
A repeatable way, not a heroic mood.
Exactly. Reduce vagueness. Lower friction. Protect important work. Shrink the first step. Return quickly after a miss.
That is the whole map, really.
It is. And before we close, I think it is time for our word tour.
Yes. House ritual time. Tea, slightly messy desks, and vocabulary.
Okay. First phrase, short-term relief. That means a little comfort right now, even if it creates more stress later. Example, scrolling gave me short-term relief, but my task was still waiting.
Second, visible next action. This is the next small step you can clearly see. Example, my visible next action is to open the file and write 3 lines.
Third, on autopilot. That means doing something without real choice or attention almost automatically. Example, I picked up my phone on autopilot.
Fourth, friction. Small resistance that makes action harder. Example, there was too much friction because I could not find the form, the number, or my notes.
Fifth, show up. To begin and be truly present. Example, I did not finish the report, but I showed up for 20 minutes.
Sixth, scope. Scope means size or range. Example, I kept my standards, but I reduced the scope and wrote a shorter first draft.
Seventh, all or nothing. This describes thinking in extremes. Example, I missed one study session, and my all or nothing brain said the whole week was ruined.
Eighth, get back on track. That means return to your plan after a problem or delay. Example, yesterday was messy, but today I can get back on track.
Ninth, tiny promise. I love this one. It means a very small commitment you can realistically keep. Example, my tiny promise is to study for 12 minutes after dinner.
10th, begin again, simple and powerful. It means start one more time without making it dramatic. Example, I drifted for 2 days, but I can begin again tonight.
Drift is a nice extra word there too. Drift means slowly move away without really deciding to.
Which many of us do. We do not choose chaos. We just drift into it a little.
Exactly. And then we can gently return.
Before we go, let us give one tiny piece of homework.
Yes. Choose one task you have been delaying. Write one visible next action for it. Then choose a time, a place, and a short work block, maybe 10 or 12 minutes.
And please keep it small. This is not fix my entire life before midnight.
No, small still counts. In fact, small is often what works.
If you want, you can even prepare the materials right after this episode. Put the notebook out, open the folder, write the phone number down, place the shoes by the door.
That is a beautiful way to lower friction before the moment arrives.
And now our comment prompt. Because we want the comments to be a place where learners practice real English and help each other.
If you want, tell us this in the comments. What is your tiny promise for today?
Write just 1 or 2 simple sentences in English. Something like, my tiny promise is to send 1 email, or, I will study for 10 minutes after dinner.
And if you have time, read another person's comment and leave a kind reply. That is good English practice, and it helps build a warm learning community.
No perfect English needed, just real English.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. If you are feeling a little stuck, you're not the only one, and it is okay.
We are glad you were here. Quiet progress still counts, even if today only looks like one sentence, one call, or one pair of running shoes.
You do not need a new personality to take action. You may only need a clearer beginning.
And if today went off track, you can begin again. Tonight, tomorrow morning, after this tea, after this bus ride, after this very honest little episode.
Take care of yourself, keep practicing your English, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. And maybe, just maybe, send the email.
Bye for now.
Bye.